I'm Bobby Tanzillo. I'm the managing editor of OnMilwaukee.com, and I also do a series here called Urban Spelunking, where I go check out cool buildings, cool, unusual places, and I just nose around. One of my favorite buildings is this one I get to come in to every single day and work, CityCenter. They broke ground and laid the cornerstone in 1912, and the building was designed by Daniel Burnham, who of course was a famous architect, well known for being one of the inventors of the skyscraper. Fathers of the bank wanted to make their mark, and I think they knew he was the guy to do it. He was the most respected architect at the time in the country. This was a huge building in Milwaukee. Reportedly 10,000 people came to get to tour the building on the day it opened in 1914. You know, the building survived all these years, and it had sort of gone into decline just before Compass Properties bought it, but it had been still a viable downtown office building for years, and the first Wisconsin building had its headquarters here until they opened their new headquarters. The cornice was falling, so they had to put netting up around the cornice around the building to stop that because it was in danger. And that was sort of when I think Compass decided it had to kind of decide what it was going to do. They were going to either let it go and sort of do demolition by neglect, or they were going to have to sort of step up and do it the right way. And I think they realized that demolition by neglect wasn't really their style. So they decided they were going to take care of this building that was a city landmark, really, and a treasure, and people would see value in renovating it and restoring it and making it vibrant again. So much to see, and you can see really far, and if you go the other way you can see way to the south. I'm kind of a view geek. I brought my binoculars from home. You can see Daniel Burnham, the front part of Gimbals here, which is hubba hubba. Hey, let me tell you a little bit about the timeline of the history of the building. In 1914, both the Panama Canal and the First National Bank building opened. In 1919, the First National Bank merges with the Wisconsin National Bank to become First Wisconsin National Bank of Milwaukee. Incidentally, the Packers were founded by Curly Lambeau the same year. In 1920, Milwaukee's first traffic light is installed, the same year that the U.S. Post Office rules that children may not be sent via parcel post. In 1921, the U.S. formally ends World War I, and the First National Bank building thrives, with more than 400 tenants, including lawyers, doctors, dentists, architects, and many more. In 1927, the first talkie, the jazz singer, is released, and Milwaukee's Oriental Theater opens. In 1929, the SS Milwaukee, a train ferry, sank in Lake Michigan, and later Wall Street crashed, beginning the Great Depression. In 1933, with the repeal of Prohibition, Milwaukee celebrates the return of beer and the reopening of our breweries. In 1936, after serving as Milwaukee's mayor for 20 years, Daniel Hone is honored on the cover of Time magazine. In 1943, as World War II rages, women fill more than a quarter of Milwaukee County's industrial jobs. In 1949, Milwaukee's first parking meters are installed and Bozo the Clown premieres on television. In 1953, the Braves relocate to Milwaukee, and just 4 years later, they win the World Series. In 1964, Beatlemania hits Milwaukee as the Fab Four plays at the Mecca Arena. In 1968, the Milwaukee Bucks become an NBA team and Summerfest debuts. In 1973, Elvis and Priscilla Presley get divorced, and the First Wisconsin Bank relocates to what is now the U.S. Bank Center. The occupancy of the city center declines. In 1977, the Hone Bridge, long called the Bridge to Nowhere, is completed. In 2002, the city center is purchased by Compass Properties. In 2005, the private bank moves into the building, and I became a dad. He was the guy that was famous for saying, "Make no little plans." But it's a great view. Might be good for a cookout. Don't tell the fire department I said that before. Show them.